All right, guys, so we're back. This is going to be quick. I've been extremely busy today, and I got a lot of shit going on I got to take care of, but I did want to talk about this. I'm sure you guys have probably heard it by now that Gervonta Tank Davis is set to face off against Frank the Ghost Martin next, possibly this late spring, maybe early summer. Not quite sure yet. They don't have a date. Nothing's official. So this is still in the rumor department. Now, we did hear this rumor back a little while ago when Frank was going into negotiations with Shakur Stevenson. He pulled out of the fight abruptly, and he really didn't give an explanation, which led a lot of us, including myself, to call Frank the Ghost Martin a duck, ducking Shakur Stevenson. And at the time, it was a rumor going around that he was pulling out because he was getting a fight with possibly Gervonta Tank Davis next. And here we are. I guess it's true. So I guess we have to backtrack that stuff with him being a duck from Shakur Stevenson. It was just the better opportunity, and I think he doesn't want to jeopardize it. So, I'm going to take that back about Frank the Ghost Martin being a duck. I'm going to apologize for that. Now, Gervonta Tank Davis. You guys know I'm a fan of Gervonta. I have been on his helmet as of late because on this channel, I explain to you guys, even if I like you as a fighter, when you're doing suspect stuff, when you're moving a certain way, I'm going to call it out. I know a lot of guys don't do that. I know, the fanboy channels are the popular thing to do, but, I'm keeping it real with you guys. I haven't liked what I've been seeing from Gervonta Tank Davis, especially with the stuff with Devin Haney. Not fighting Devin Haney, talking about pay-per-view numbers. Now he's fighting Frank the Ghost Martin, and you haven't heard any of that back and forth stuff about, he doesn't sell enough pay-per-views because Frank the Ghost Martin hasn't been on headlining any pay-per-views, but he's still going to fight him anyway. So that leads me to believe that Devin Haney, Gervonta Tank Davis's team thinks Devin Haney is a bad style matchup. We know that. I talked about that, about the fight with Mario Barrios, where it was one of the toughest fights for Gervonta Tank Davis because of Mario Barrios' skill set. He had an educated jab. He had great footwork, and he put Tank through it in that fight. And a guy like Devin Haney, who is a better boxer than Mario Barrios, yeah, he may be a nightmare for Tank. So that's somebody they want to keep him away from. It is what it is. Now, the stuff with Conor Benn, I didn't like the stuff with Conor Benn. You call Conor Benn out. Eddie Hearn sends you an offer. I think it was $10 million with the upside with the pay-per-view revenue and the gate stuff. I think they were talking about $25 million. You turn that down. So why call out Conor Benn? If you're not going to face him, if you're not going to fight him, they're putting all that money up on the table. I think that fight probably could have been huge, even though Conor Benn can't fight in the UK. I think it would have been a big fight here in the US, in Vegas, for the simple fact that he is a UK fighter. So you bringing in two different fan bases. You got Gervonta Tank Davis's fan base, which is huge, and the UK fan base. So I think that would have been a big fight. Plus, Conor Benn fights at 147, Tank moving up to 147. People will be interested in seeing that fight. But that fight's not going to happen. We're getting Frank the Ghost Martin. Now, I don't think this is a bad fight. I think this is a pretty decent fight for Gervonta Tank Davis, being that he's been out of the ring for quite some time, since April of 2023. The last guy he fought was Ryan Garcia. He's been dealing with legal issues. He's been under house arrest, so he's probably going to need a good tune-up fight. And I think Frank the Ghost Martin is a good tune-up fight. I think he is. He can be a problem for Tank. He's got an educated jab. He's very athletic. He has good footwork. He's fast. So I think he may give Tank some problems in the beginning of the fight. I do think Tank will win the fight, probably knocking Frank out. But I think it's a solid fight for him. But like I said, I just don't like the shenanigans that he's been doing as of late. And I'm going to call it out. I'm going to call it out no matter what. I like Tank. I like what he's done. But lately, we've been seeing him not wanting to face certain fighters. We know he didn't want to face Vasily Lomachenko. I don't think his team wanted him to face Lomachenko. I think they've been keeping him from these guys who are bad style matchups for him. I think they've been moving him that way. And Tank, Loma and Devin Haney are definitely bad style matchups for him. So maybe they're testing the waters a little bit more with Frank the Ghost Martin. He's not as slick, I would say, as a Devin Haney, but like I said, he is a very athletic fighter. But we'll see what happens next, guys. That's all I want to say about that. I think it's a solid fight. I'll be glad to see Tank back in the ring. I think, you know, he's good for the sport. You know, he talks a lot of trash on Twitter, but he does deliver knockouts. He is must-see TV. I like the kid, but, you know, I just don't like the way he's been moving as of late. But you guys let me know what you think about the fight in the comment section. Is this something that you want to see? Tank versus Frank? Is there somebody else you would rather see him face? Like Edwin De Los Santos, et cetera, et cetera. You guys let me know how you feel about that in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.